And welcome to a very unusual and special episode of AI Today. I am the creator, but not the usual voice. Dave Thackeray is the name. You might know me from, X or LinkedIn or wordofmouth.com or one of my crazy digital marketing books. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about AI today as we reach the end of a frankly beyond exciting year for artificial intelligence and its integration into our everyday lives. I'm looking around now and I think every single aspect of my life has in some way been affected by AI, and I've done that deliberately. It's never been a case of it having been foisted upon me, and I'm always very excited to try new technology and get very giddy when it provides some kind of progress that I wouldn't otherwise have enjoyed. So we're on the 9th of December now. Been a really busy year for me, which is why I've taken a step away from creating these episodes using Notebook LM, Google's incredible technology, audio overviews, finding something that tickles my digital fancy and feeding it into the machine and seeing what the smart sand has to do with it. And I think it's fair to say that we've all learned a lot about AI through AI today. And just yesterday, I was playing with version 4 of Suno on my phone, my Android. Suno is the music generation app. Version 4 is incredible. I mean, now using tools to identify common patterns in your favorite songs, you can then feed that in as a prompt to Suno and generate some really interesting music. The quality is fantastic. The vocals are stellar these days, and I really can, in 2025, with the help of Suno and other music generation apps using AI, see there being some real changes to what we conventionally expect to be chart toppers. You know, the Billboard charts, I'm sure, will start to have regular fixtures of AI generated tunes on there. It's just a matter of time. We've already seen it happen. We've seen it happen with poetry. We've seen it happen with art. And I think increasingly we'll start to see it happen with music. I mean, art, we've all covered this on AI Today in the past. I mean, the amount of money that people have generated through selling digital art, I mean, it takes me back to the NFT days, but Sotheby's have been in on the deal. You know, Sotheby's are very progressive these days. What was it, Beeple? When they did that with the digital art that the guy created and sold that for over $1 million. We've seen that, the same sort of thing with DAO versions of like democratized art. So people have chosen art created by the algorithm and then sent that to the auction house to see how it went, and it went very well indeed. So all aspects of culture, I think, have been affected in one way or another. You look at speech to text and text to speech and advanced voice mode on OpenAI, and you see how customer service is being revolutionized, how hospitality is being changed. These are areas and domains close to my heart, so obviously I'm slightly more obsessed with them than others. Same sort of thing with education. It's not just the Khan Academy. We have people all over the world now. The race to democratize better education, to make a very high standard of education available to everybody across the world, no matter where you are, no matter what the technology is. 2025 is going to be crazy for just making everybody smarter. I think asteroid mining is going to be a really big deal next year. I think, the more we see satellites take over the conventional landline telecommunications, that's going to bother a lot of the big players who have been happy to sit on their laurels and develop traditional technologies. Well, led in the charge by people like Elon through Starlink, lots more incumbents as well. I think satellite communication technology is really going to be commoditized next year. It's already dirt cheap, but it's just going to get cheaper as AI helps these organizations to understand where to fire their satellites to provide truly global coverage for us. So there's that. There's Llama 3.3's just come out now, which means that we have got quantization and superior training efforts compounded by increased GPUs to make Llama, the work of Meta, the open source training, the open source LLM, large language model, just fabulous. And, just talking about Elon as well, this week he has launched Grok to every X user for free. The number of large language models that you can get now for free to test, whether it's in the cloud via API or whether it's to download to your machine via Hugging Face, absolutely remarkable. So the more we quantize, which is essentially creating interpolated versions of large language models so that they are manageable by smaller devices. You don't need to daisy chain NVIDIA 3090s or 4090s to use with OLAMA and large language models to have local versions. So that basically means on your machine, on your devices, getting ever smaller. And 1-bit technologies means that it's going to get even smaller still. And the results are going to be mind-blowing. So AI, ever more pervasive. I'm ever more passionate about it, and that's why AI Today will be continuing after its brief hiatus. It's going to be coming back with a very different focus. I've always been focused on efficiency, productivity in the workplace, how we can make people more efficient and effective, at the same time make people happier. How can AI, through the likes of Microsoft Copilot, how can it take away some of the drudge work, interesting, to give us more time to do the good stuff? And that's what is the intention of the likes of Intercom and its latest version of the customer service agent, to take away all of the really basic customer service inquiries from the laps of our most coveted people in the organization, the sales and service people. How can it really make their jobs more worthwhile, more enjoyable, so that they can focus on the more complex challenges, the reasons why they were hired in the first place? And documentation will become ever more automated via technology. I do predict that the likes of Zapier will start to lose relevance as agentic AI starts really pushing forward. And we've seen some amazing forays through open source technologies to make agentic AI that much more available and accessible to anyone who wants it with very little coding experience. Talking about coding experience, I've been spending a lot of time lately on AI code editors, and I believe now that with the help of people like David J. Milan at Harvard University, if you take his CS50 coding course, you'll be ready to work beautifully with code editors. Whether it is Google's project IDX at idx.google.com with its new interactive agent, which does a lot of the heavy lifting that you'd expect from the likes of Windsurf or from Bolt.new. Lots of these AI code editors like Cursor as well. There's some really good opportunities here to start figuring out the world of coding 2025 style. But I do think that having an engineering foundation will make life so much better for you. Less likely to get frustrated. I've heard that, the world of the engineer will be changing considerably, not only having AI in the loop and having AI there to support your work, but also to take more of an architecture, more of a management role with agentic AI and AI code editors working asynchronously, as long as the documentation and the advice is there, and as long as the scaffolding and the frameworks are there, the boilerplates are there that your company needs, well, agents can pretty much take the lead and report back and ask for your advice when they want to do commits or pull requests, PRs. You can work together with them and make life a lot easier for both of you, whether you are an algorithm or whether you're a human being. So when it comes to managing projects, I've seen a lot of developments in terms of prompting, in terms of priming LLMs and the chatbots with the right kind of prompts that are, again, the boilerplates for your project teams, so that the AI can take away a lot of the heavy lifting for you, whether it's creating JIRA documentation or whether it's putting together PRDs. All of this stuff these days, as long as you've got the custom instructions in hand, unique to your organization and unique to the way that you work, not only can you better interface with the engineers and the designers in your project, well, you can provide them with the right information, you can manage them better. And let's not forget, when it comes to prototypes and proofs of concept, there are apps like V0 out there that can really spin these things up in moments instead of sprints. It asks you the question about whether sprints are going to be much shorter because, the time it takes to do most of the work these days in getting to ship will be reduced. The velocity will change. So many of these things that need to be considered. So many things that will change. I was just thinking about something else that will come to me for the next time we have one of these little natters. But really, there is nothing these days that we need to aim for the skies. Moonshots are less likely to be moonshots and more likely to be within the Earth's gravity shots because AI can just give us the inspiration and maybe even work really closely with us to develop the code that we need to ship. So many things to do with. I was going to talk about recruitment. I was going to talk about integration within the organization. Some of my real exciting ideas for the coming year around talent and skill identification, whether we're using sensors inside the organization to find out where we're doing well, where we're not doing so well, where there are opportunities, where talent managers can be told where there are skills gaps. Senior leadership teams can receive reports via AI that says, hey, we're doing really well here, but we could do with some new staff here to do even better, or there are some skill gaps here that we might be able to fill through upskilling inside the organization without the need to recruit. These are things that AI can do now. So why more organizations aren't integrating them? Well, I've got no idea. And recruitment too has desperately, sorely in need of a makeover. And these application tracking systems, we've got to see the back of them because they've done us nothing but harm. The sifting process has been very much with a human intervention, but without the lack of commitment, which means that we've not been sifting in the right people and we've been sifting out the wrong people, the people that we should have been having in as candidates. Now, there are a lot of AI-powered tools like Test Gorilla that will let you manage interviews and automate them through video interviews. And then obviously the AI can do the work to understand using sentiment analysis, looking through transcripts to really get a sense of beyond the CV, beyond the covering letter, who the real people are that you want to take forward to the next stage and hopefully make part of your workforce and reduce the time to hire and have the confidence that you're hiring not only the right people, but the right people with the right kind of conditions that suit them. So much more to talk about. Thank you for listening today. I've really enjoyed catching up with you, and I hope you continue to enjoy AI today. As I say, we'll be covering so many more topics in the future. I want to spend a little bit of time looking into the latest Microsoft Ignite event. So with any luck, I might be bringing some highlights from that into your world. But if you want to join me on the show, if you want to have a chat about AI, tell me what you think AI will be doing in the future. Tell me what you're doing in AI. I would love to find out. This is just the beginning. AI isn't going anywhere, and neither are we at AI today. So for your benefit and mine, you might even be hearing some more from me, my voice, to give you some updates, to integrate with what our friends over at Notebook LM have to say, to give the human verdict, as well as what Silicon has to say about the latest tips, tricks, tactics, and techniques to help you get better and grow through AI. But until then, have a great Christmas. Really good to chat to you, and we'll speak soon. Bye.